Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope that you're doing very well. And PWA Summit, very excited to be here. This is the second year that we're doing this between other folks from Microsoft, Edge, in my case, Samsung Internet, also Intel is with us. So, this is our second talk. I'm not going to talk that much. The idea of today is that check how are you doing with PWAs. This is an open conversation to the audience, and we're gonna have like before and after. So today you're gonna learn a lot about PWAs, people that have different experiences and create their own product using PWAs. And also, if you are new here, this is a way to demystify a lot of things that we usually think about PWAs. Let's check it out. So, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Laura Morinigo. I'm a web developer advocate for Samsung Internet and also a Google Developer Expert. You can find me on Twitter. My Twitter is thisislalaok. And I will be also in our Discord if you have any questions around the summit. So what we're going to do today, I need your participation. This is not only my talk, this is also yours. So we're going to play a little game here. You need to go to slido.com, put this number, and we're going to have a little quiz. So we're going to demystify some of the things related with PWAs. And also, we're going to check what else can we know or what's new. And then, of course, you're going to reinforce all this knowledge because we have amazing speakers that are going to share with you their latest knowledge and topics around PWAs. Cool. So I hope that if whenever part of the world you're in, you can join us at slido.com. Please put this number and we are ready to go. Okay? So while you're trying to join with slido.com, let me tell you a little bit about what I do. So I work as a web developer advocate for Samsung Internet. What is a Samsung Internet? It's a browser actually that is based in Chromium. So we are also major contributors of Chromium. And let me share with you that we are really committed to have an open web and also get the most advanced features in modern browsers, which that includes respect users' privacy and, of course, push progressive web apps. Okay, so after these commercials, let me see. You can join me at slido.com again. Put this number, and then please, to break the ice, in which part of the world are you? Well, in my case, I'm from Argentina, but I live in London, so I count as both. Oh, I think I forgot Europe, right? Well, whatever. So and actually we are in the blog from Europe. Apologize about that. This is like an icebreaker. So if you're in Europe, please let me know in the chat or in Discord. Again, this is an icebreaker, and yeah, completely my fault. So let's see in which part of the world are you. A lot of people in North America, Asia, Africa. Remember that this is the first block, and this is a different time zone. And then later we're going to have a different time zone for the folks that are more in the Americas. Great. And then the other thing that I would like to know about you is that if you have any experience coding or participating in PWAs. Okay, I can see that there are a lot of people that already have some experience. Again, if you don't have any and you're like, what am I doing here? No worries. The idea is to give you the tools and knowledge so you can start, or maybe share with other people in your community what did you learn from this event? Okay. Right. So, okay, I think I have a lot of experts over there. Great. So let's start with the first quiz. So right now, what we're going to do is asking you specific questions about PWAs. Yes. Hello, everybody. Okay. So this is a very specific question. It says, do you need specific tools or frameworks to build a PWA? This is something very interesting because we need to check, okay, what do we need to build a PWA? Is it something new? Is it something that somebody created? Let's see what were your answers. True and false. Okay, we got some people that so yeah, it's false. It's false. And let me explain you why. Progressive web apps are just an advanced web app. The only thing that you need is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay? Of course, you can have specific features, specific capabilities, but to build one, you just need HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Of course, if you're working in, let's say, a specific framework or something like that, you can add these to your product. But again, you just need the basics, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Probably if you're at home and if you're an advanced user about PWAs, you're wondering, wait, but I use a certain kind of tools that really help me to develop or to check my PWAs. Well, that is also a very good resource. The idea is that you have the chance to use these tools that make your life easier. That doesn't mean that you mandatory need it, right? You can just build a PWA with simple HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And when I say JavaScript, I mean vanilla JavaScript. You can build a service worker from JavaScript, and you don't need anything else. But again, the more advanced is our app, the more things that we need to check. And right nowadays, it exists a lot of tools that is going to help you to speed this process. For example, I cannot recommend enough PWA Builder. You're going to know more about PWA Builder during this event. Workbox, of course, your favorite dev tools in your browser, and Lighthouse. Okay, so besides the web tools that we already know, these ones are going to help you specifically around PWAs. Let's get ready for the next one. This is very controversial. PWAs can coexist within native apps. Let me check, because I don't know if there's any Android or iOS developers out there. You're probably wondering, what's going on? Is it something that I need to be aware of? True and false. Okay, so the folks that said true, you're right. Something that I need to say is that PWAs are not like something that you need to choose between your native app and then your web app. The idea is to bring more resources to the user. At the end of the day, web apps in general are very easy to code, are open to everybody. The final user doesn't have to install anything, so you can have more user retention and so on. The idea is to use the powerful resources that we have by the web. So in this case, I can tell you, for example, Pinterest. Pinterest has a PWA. That doesn't mean that they destroy the native app or anything at all. They have both in their product. So users that use the web can still access to the product. And at the end of the day, the cost of creating a web app comparing with a native app can be much more easier. And of course, you're going to have a lot more retention and your audience can grow, because again, the web is a powerful place to share with other people. So, okay, again, for the folks that are building native apps, it's not like, oh, PWAs are like my competitive things or whatever. No, they can be at the same time. Okay, next one. So, what is the feature that enables installability? As you know, PWAs are well known because they have native app like features, including install. So, for installability, you can have an icon very similar as you would have a native app. So, in this case, let's see, very good, manifest file. A manifest file is the one that is going to allow you to have an icon and some other features related with design in your PWA. Okay, but what is it, a manifest file? How do I do with my own web app? So a manifest file is just a JSON. It's just a JSON that is going to have attributes and values. And in this case, I'm just showing you a few. You can have a short name, and the one that is most important is going to be icons, because there is where you're going to put images, the image of your icon, and it's going to be available for installability. So manifest file are the ones that are responsible for installability and also some things related with design. Okay, next one. What else do we have? PWA's capabilities are enabled in every browser. What does it mean? Can I use a PWA in every browser? Let's see. I hope that you are participating at home. Okay. Okay, 50, wow, 50-50. Okay, cool. So let's see, it's false. We wish that every PWA capability should be in every browser, but that's something that we need to keep working on. Browser compatibility is a challenge. So whenever you're building a PWA, you need to test in different case scenarios, not only in different browsers. You need to test it in desktop, you need to test it in your phone, and also in other devices. Let me give you an example. If you're using a desktop, Safari and Firefox do not support PWA installation. In other browsers, let's say Chrome, you can have it and that is available, but in other browsers, not. So keep an eye whenever you are going to build a PWA, which are the current features that are available. How do you know that? You can check in the browser features that are available, and then see, which are the current state of each of the capabilities of a PWA in these browsers. Next one. Which of these solutions you can implement for client-side storage? If you already paid attention to the last talk, I think you can have this one very well. Let's see. Web storage, IndexedDB. I can see that most of you paid attention to Jeremy. That was very good. Web SQL, cache storage. Okay, so almost every of these techniques, but Web SQL. Because why? Because Web SQL is currently deprecated. This happened not so long ago. So the ones that are available right now are as I said, IndexedDB, web storage, and cache storage. IndexedDB is very, very interesting because it's going to allow us to have a client-side storage and with very well advanced queries like no SQL. So I suggest to take a look into that because there are a lot of things going on into IndexedDB. And also, if you miss it, check what Jeremy had told us about IndexedDB and everything that's going on with client-side storage. Okay, cool. Next one, service workers are applied to enable fast loading. I know that service workers can be a topic that most of us developers are a little bit afraid of. And sometimes we're wondering, how can we implement this? So let's see. True and false. Okay, this is tricky. I need to admit that I put this as a tricky question. In this case, I just said false because there is something that I need to demystify about service workers. Service workers are not only for fast loading. They have many different other features, including offline access, push notifications, and fast loading. Okay, so all these three things you can add it in using a service worker. Okay, remember these service workers are not just only for offline access. They're not just only for push notifications. They're also available for making your web app fast, also have some offline catching and push notifications. Okay. Okay, we're almost at the end, and right now we're gonna check this one. The event that lets us intercept every network request made by the PWA in the service workers call is. So you know that you have different steps in your service worker, and there is one that makes all the magic. So let's check. Is fetch very good? Most of you were right. Is fetch. Fetch is the one that creates all the magic that allows you to bring your resources and manage your resources from your network. And then you can decide what you're going to do with those resources. So again, if you want to know a little bit more about how this is working, please stay in this event because we're going to talk a little bit more about service worker. Okay, next one. Which are the criteria for installability on Chromium browser? So besides the manifest file, we know that we have some certain kind of criteria so your icon can appear nice and smoothly in your platform. So in this case, let's see. Right, so the only thing that we need, if you want to make sure that in Chromium browsers, so please remember this, Chromium browsers are gonna show the installability option in your website. Besides applying a manifest file with an icon, you need to have HTTPS. Your web app needs to be safe for the user, a service worker, and at least one fetch. You don't have to have an offline web page fallback. Ideally, do it because I think this is a very good practice, but at least you need to have one fetch using your resources whenever you don't have a reliable connection. Okay? I think this one is the last one. So let me check with you. New progressive web apps features relies on vendors' browsers only. Is it true or false? Is it something that, I don't know, some vendor created, or what's going on here? Okay, true and false. Okay, very good for the ones that says false. This is also a call for you. Okay, I think this MO made most of the questions. This is like the leaderboard. No, it's like Fair Moon, congratulations. You're number one, the fastest, and the ones that get most of the questions. Right. Okay, so let me go back to this one. There are a lot of new features that are coming, and we need your feedback. There are things like Project Fugu. There are a lot of things, for example, related with IndexedDB that are happening in Web Apps group in the W3C. If you really want to have a new feature related with PWAs, you can check in Chromium issue tracker. So at the end of the day, this is not only a vendor's thing. This is not only that somebody in the browser does it. The idea is that new users and developers also participate in this conversation. Again, everything that you see here, Project Fugu, Web Apps Group in the W3C, the Chromium issue tracker is open to everybody because we need your feedback about how we can create better PWAs and, of course, at the end of the day, have a better web. So with this, thanks a lot for participating. And I hope that you enjoyed this very first part. Was also if you were having your coffee. I hope that you wake up a little bit if you are like after lunch or whatever part of the world you are. Hopefully you can stay with us because you're going to learn a lot about PWAs. You can find me on Twitter in this with the name This is Lala OK, and I'm part of Samsung Internet. So hope to see you around, and thanks a lot for coming. See you with the next speaker. Thank you.